There we go. All right, when do you start? I'm recording the Zoom. Let me just. Oh, you can't minimize. Oh, right. Hang on. What's it saying? You can't minimize Zoom when you are recording this meeting. Okay, mate.
All right. Is Zoom having a go at you? Is it?
Yeah. Well, start recording stuff here. How did I get that? There? Oh, 2 seconds. There we go. I'll start recording the audio as well. So audio's running. You're talking as well. We've got that going. Okay, I think we could be up and running today. Hi.
Before we start, can we address the elephant in the room and why you look like Roy Orbison's granddad?
What do you mean, Roy Orbison's granddad? Look, this is from the us, because we're releasing the Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
I'm getting recognised in the streets again.
Are you? Because we're putting the video out there.
Yeah, it's fantastic. People walk up. You're the guy that are you the guy that makes Paul Stainton sound all right? I said, yeah, I am. So I quite like it. Yeah, I quite.
Yeah. Can you see in them glasses? Are you going to be all right?
Of course not. You can't see you don't see when you're doing things like this.
You look like the bloke. You look like the bloke out of Peters and Lee who once fell off the edge of the stage.
Welcome home. Can I find that? Hang on. Let's see his for.
Welcome
home.
Can we play music? Is you mix a fixed? Have you got your cassette tape all wound up?
I've got a cassette going here. Hang on. Is it going to play it?
Oh, there we go. What a lovely way to start. What a lovely way to start.
I'm so alone, my love without you.
Am I the blonde one then? And you're...
Yeah. Were they a thing then? Were they kind of, did they do it?
No, I don't think so. I think she was his carer. I think that's what.
Oh, that's nice, though, isn't it?
Yeah. But before we start the podcast today properly, can I just pay tribute to Captain Sir Tom Moore, who died this week, one of our greatest Britons. He's up there, isn't he, with Cox's English Pippin and Blackpool Rock, the Spitfire, Yorkshire Puddings, A Pint of Bitter, the Beatles and Braces. He's up there with a lot of them. Captain Sir Tom Moore. God bless you, son.
Yeah, God bless you. There's a whole lot of things about I'm getting a funeral, a kind of proper funeral and everything. I'm always... let's get something named in perpetuity. Oh well.
Whereabouts is that? Is that in Wales?
Yeah, it's just around the mount of Clackland, Loughlin, go.
Somebody came up with a really good idea on my Facebook page of naming a ward in every single hospital in the country after Captain Sir Tom, which I think would be a fitting tribute, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Because that would be great. You're going into Captain Moore. Captain Moore. Is it Captain?
Sir Captain Tom Moore.
Yeah, whatever.
He's got a lot of titles, bless him.
Lovely, but what a thing. He wanted. It was just to do £1,000. He just wanted it for everybody, and then it just kicked in. It was beautiful. It was just. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm going to start today because this is for people. Did you know, Paul Stainton, that chameleons, beautiful chameleons, have you heard of chameleons? They're an animal, right?
Yes.
Chameleons may be the world's tiniest reptile, but they've got but their genitals are huge.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not doing genitals again. You did knickers-knackers last week.
Yeah. I'm getting to that age. Size apparently does matter for male Bruchisia nana chameleons. Yeah, the scientists have been studying this, Paul, right? Bruchisia nanas, chameleons, and that while the species may be tiny, it's got disproportionate large genitals. Finally, something I can relate.
No. Hold on.
What?
So the world is suffering from the worst pandemic since the Spanish flu, right?
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of people are dying. We've still not got a grip on cancer, and scientists are studying the genitals of chameleons.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't they be better? just a thought. Wouldn't they be better off working on one of the bigger problems, perhaps?
Well, they are bigger problems. That's the thing. Because chameleons get huge rollocks down there.
Gonads. Yeah.
But I just thought finally it's something that I can relate to because Extreme miniaturization of a new amniote vertebrae and insights into the evolution of genital size in chameleons. That's a report that went out, Paul. I don't know if you read it, but it's out now.
No, I didn't. It doesn't interest me.
These chameleons can sit on the top of your finger, right?
Yeah.
But they maybe the female measured 28.9 millimeters or 1.13 inches long, while the male was anyway. They just get big bahookies and everything. Isn't that great? That's really nice.
Well, yeah, good on them is all I can say.
You wake up, you're a chameleon, you do the whole change colour thing, and then you realise, you look down, you say, what? Look at the boys down there.
So you're just watching the telly, and then you have a scratch, and you think, oh.
Aye. It's like when I used to watch Sunday night at the London Palladium, and the Tiller Girls just come on.
Yes, you had a scratch.
I sit in my pajamas, and I used to grab the cushion. Wow.
Well, the cushion was de rigueur, wasn't it, when you were 14 or 15?
No,
but you're very
What?
You're very chameleon-like today, aren't you? And your glasses and your beard and everything.
Yeah.
You've changed your appearance in honour of the big bold comedians. Yeah, very good.
I'm not bold.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's been a strange week, hasn't it? I don't know if you've noticed. The politicians have had a really strange week this week. I mean, Dido Harding, who's in, Dido, she's in charge of lots of stuff, but she was trying to tell us this week that no one knew that viruses mutate or that bears shit in the woods. So yeah, well done, Dido. Thank you. Did you see that?
There's a great response. There's a response on Twitter to you. I meant to send it over to you, where a microbiologist from up in Scotland just went, I'm a microbiologist of a 30-year standing, and yes, we did protect variants.
The bears shit in the woods?
Yeah, the Pope's a Catholic. Yeah, it's all this stuff, and you sat there in front, and it's just the bare-facedness over. Just gone, well.
And then I've been checking out some new online courses, Ronnie. I don't know if you've seen these.
Go for it. Here we go. Is it too early?
It's not yet. But I've been checking out some new online courses because we've got time on our hands, haven't we? We've got fill our time, do some things. So I've been really taken with Grant Shap's geography lessons online. They're a real eye opener. He knows what he's talking about, that lad. And one of the things he said this week was the UK can't close its border like Australia because we're an island, they're a continent. Which, when I went to school, my stupid geography teacher told me that Australia was an island. It was a big island, but still an island. So, what did my geography teacher know? Because Grant Shap says it's not an island, it's a continent. So there you go. I learned something this week from Grant.
Well, of course, Grant famously wants to get rid of smart motorways. And you said it in our warm-up. You said it. What you say? It's just it's a motorway without a hard shoulder. Is that what you said?
Yeah, so if you break down, you're dead.
If anybody's going to dislike a smart motorway, it's Grant Shap's, isn't it?
Yeah.
That whole thing.
And then hold on, one more thing from politics. I don't know if you saw this, Matt Hancock. Did you see Matt Hancock this week? He admitted taking guidance on how to deal with the pandemic from the Hollywood film Contagion. Now, all I can say about this, Ronnie, it's a good job he wasn't watching 12 Monkeys or Mad Max.
Yes.
We'd all be living in a dystopian future.
You love dystopian. You love saying dystopian. Yeah. I thought he'd been watching Liar Liar. That's what the one. That's where I thought he'd probably get his thing. But isn't it interesting? You presume he's sitting there reading papers after paper from all this scientists and everything going on. And the message got continuous that. Netflix, Contagion. What's it about? It's just about some variant. All right, I'll get on. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to vaccinate the world.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for Matt Damon and Gwyneth Paltrow to turn up, and save the day. When's that going to happen? Is that going to be in March when we get released from lockdown a bit? Matt Damon's going to come on and go, Matt Damon, and sort it all out for us.
Matt, what was that impression? Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Matt Damon.
All right.
Have you not seen that film, Team America?
That teetered on a dead necrophiliac there for a second.
If you watch Team America, it's very much worth watching. They have Matt Damon in there with Kim Jong-il, and Matt Damon. It's very funny.
No, Paul, we've had some email correspondence.
Oh, goody.
People are actually quite intrigued by you for some reason. They find you kind of
attractive.
Intriguing. Yeah, attractive. Mind you, that video you put out the other day, my God, your face was massive in it and very red. I'm worried about your blood pressure.
It could be blood pressure, or it could be just it could be just a little bit of too much tan, maybe. I don't know.
Are you back in the old tanning salon, son? Right?
Yeah. Get the budgie smugglers on. Get me sprayed. Come on.
I go. Oh, did you see there's this new stuff talking about genitals? There's this manscaping. Can you see that manscaping is now a thing to get rid of? Yeah, to get rid of the.
What do you mean by manscaping? What do you mean? Do you mean pruning down there?
You shave down. You do everything. And it gives you special clippers. It gives you these things, and you can have a number one all over. Or I thought women had found hair, flipping man, that down there. But I don't want to. It'd be like shaving a turkey's neck, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to go in with some shears first.
Yeah.
I mean, right. My best mate once, he shaved all his body hair off when he was a teenager.
Yes.
And he was scratching like he got herpes all over his body for about 6 months when it was growing back. It was
scratching. There was a thing on last night. I was watching a film. I'm watching this thing on Netflix called The Big C. It's Laura Linney, and it's about this woman, in her life dealing with cancer, but it's funny as well. And the family all get crabs. And I've never had the crabs. I've never had the crabs at all. But I used to work with a guy who got them, and man, he couldn't sit down. He couldn't, even after he got the treatment. What?
Did he live in Cromer?
He did, yeah. Right. Questions for Paul. Questions for Paul.
Just hold on. Not even a jingle.
I can't. The mix is going to be 2 to 4 weeks. It does have a fault. I was pleased to hear it because I thought it was just maybe me being rubbish, being a bit Andy Harper, but it wasn't.
Usual.
Question for Paul. This from Ralph Sternum. Have you ever eaten dog's chocolate accidentally or deliberately? Have you ever eaten dog's chocolate accidentally or deliberately? Paul?
Never eaten it, no, but I do a lot of clearing up of dog's chocolate with the plastic bags. And sometimes when there's too much dog's chocolate and you just get a bit of leakage around the edges, and you tie the bag up and you look at your finger and you go, dog's chocolate. Dog's chocolate.
All right, I'll put that down as a note. Jenny Clittle, she would like, I see emails. Jenny Clittle would like to know if you can tell where your scrotum ends and your groin begins. Do you know, that was just talking about manscaping there. Do you know where your scrotum ends and your groin begins?
I don't think, I'm not that flexible.
Okay, so you don't know. You've never put a mirror down there to have a look, see? Okay. This one from Shammy Leather. Shammy's
an Irishman.
Yeah. You're trapped in a room, Paul, where there are only 2 things to eat. Two necrotic goldfish in a goldfish tank, or a bowl of hummus made by a chef with a skin rash. Which one would you go for? It's like a survival question, I would have thought, this, Paul.
To be honest, I think I'd trust the chef to wear gloves. So I would go for the whatever the bowl is with the skin rash chef. I'd go for that.
Bowl of hummus? Hummus. How do you call it?
And to be fair, if you're eating hummus, it's got that texture anyway. So if a bit of skin flaked off, you just carry on, wouldn't you? You just be polite about it and say, lovely, extra texture.
Thank you to Ralph, Jenny, and Shammy. You can email your questions to Paul, Ronnie at ronniebarber.co.uk or Paul at psmedia.org.uk.
Listen, you talked about Netflix, didn't you? That film you watch on Netflix.
Yeah.
I've been watching. I don't know if you've seen this, Bridgerton. Have you seen this, Bridgerton? Have you seen it?
About it. Is it okay? My thing just went. I can't do it. I tried to shorten you there, Paul, minimize you, but I can't. Carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been watching this thing called Bridgerton, which is it's like a period drama rom-com, and it's sort of set in the 18th century or whatever, and it's got what they've very cleverly done is instead of having all white actors from the 18th century, they've got black actors in lots of the parts as well. So it makes it truly multicultural, but also it's filthy. It is filthy.
Brilliant.
Oh. There's so much sex going on. I mean, they're at it like the clappers. And because of this show, Bridgerton, sales of corsets have risen 32% since Christmas Day. As couples sort of, they're watching Bridgerton, people at home, and they're sexing up their relationship. And they're buying corsets. But, just a word of warning.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to breathe this morning.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what you're red-faced, isn't it?
Because you've got to be careful how tight you have your corset on. And underneath this T-shirt, it's...
Right.
Missy said if I put it on and get used to it, then tonight...
All right, she likes a wee bit of corset action. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
but there's a whole Bridgerton thing that's...
There's a whole bridge. I'm going to write that one. There's a whole bridge thing.
Yeah. There's some more tips for you to get the most out of your sex life from Bridgerton. So would you like me to run through a few of the tips? Because I know you keep talking about your nether regions and your scrotum area. Yeah. And that says to me that you're not getting any.
Oh no, I get all I need. Oh yeah. Gated community, mate, was a whole lot of swinging. Well, don't you worry about that.
Well, here's how you can make it better. So take inspiration from Bridgerton in your bedroom. So imagine a scene in your bedroom, Ronnie.
Right, okay. I'll close my eyes.
I'd rather not. So swap your harsh overhead lighting for old-fashioned candles that cast a warm glow on the skin and hide any extra lockdown pounds. Hang a vintage mirror on the ceiling so that you can watch the action, Ronnie. Okay, that's tip number one.
What? A mirror on the ceiling?
Mirror on the ceiling, candles to hide the lockdown pounds, because, we've all put a few on.
Yeah.
So take inspiration, cover that practical duvet with a sensuous, silky purple quilt. It's got to be purple, Ronnie. Get the purple quilt. Apparently, Dulux discovered it's the colour most likely to inspire passion, purple. And finally, add a stuffed bolster pillow to your bed. These cylindrical pillows can be slipped under your hips, tummy or neck at night to make sexual positions more stimulating. This is all courtesy of Bridgerton here. So get a bolster, Ronnie. That's what you need.
It's this idea. Right, well, let's get through this. A candle for health and safety. All right.
Sorry, it's pressing on me diaphragm.
Yeah. Steady. Then silk. What's going to happen in the middle of the night when you've had the nookies? You're freezing with your silk covered thingy. You need a big duvet. You need a Tom 49 or something like that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you're right.
And a pillow. Look, mate, I don't have enough room in my bed for extra pillows because, when I'm at it, I am all over the bed. It's like
a frenetic crab.
Yeah, I just can't get it. It's my playing field. It's where I get into the box. Maybe not. That's. I must watch that because I genuinely did see a lot of people are kind of praising it as
it's very good. It's called Bridgerton. It's very good. Now listen, I don't know about you, Ronnie, but I'm a little bit worried this week.
We both got up to the microphone. Sorry,
just got very close there, very close to the microphone. Yes.
Well, okay, who's going?
Because when I get worried, I speak in a much deeper voice.
Yeah. You just like what's that? Kilroy was here with your nose is hanging over your soundproofing there.
Don't mention Kilroy.
Shit. Are you going to? What was that thing he did? Kilroy did a quiz show.
It was fist or thump or something, wasn't it?
Are you gonna save it or shaft it?
That was it. Shaft it.
Are you gonna
save it or shaft it? Yeah, but I'm worried this week, Ronnie. I don't know if you are.
What's up?
I'm worried about variants.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if you've seen. There's quite a few variants out now of the COVID-19. So you've got the Kent variant.
Yeah, that's there's nothing worse than the Kent variant. Yeah.
You've got the South African variant.
Yeah.
And the Brazilian variant, and they're just the top three. You've also got a Liverpool and Bristol variant, but everybody's concerned about variants. And to be fair, they don't need to be so worried about the Kent variant, because with all the lorry chaos at the ports at Felixstowe and Dover, that's not going to transmit anywhere, is it? So don't worry about the Kent variant. I just want to put your mind at rest here. And with the South African variant, people have been told to stay indoors. It's that contagious. They've got door-to-door testing on the South African variant, and the symptoms of the South African one. If you want, be careful if there's a slight change in your accent, boy, and a sudden urge to play rugby. If you feel that, get in touch. With the doctor.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's another. Definitely put that one out, Paul. Good.
No, exactly. And the Brazilian variant, Ronnie, is less virulent.
Okay, let's tell me about the Brazilian variant then, Paul.
Yeah, it's less virulent, Ronnie, but it causes one to crave coffee, and it does result in hair loss around the nether regions. So if that happens to you,
wait, you know what?
If you suddenly start shedding hairs from down below, you may have the Brazilian variant. Get it checked by your family.
We do need to talk these things through, because this is a disgusting podcast this week, isn't it? We've just talked.
Also, I've not got to the big one yet.
All right. Go on.
The Yorkshire variant.
Yes.
Watch out for that. Yeah.
Why?
It's good though, because you don't have it for long. It only comes for a day, and it only affects the nose.
Yes. Come on! That's what we've come for. That was it. Was that it? Is that it today? Is that the one?
No, that's not it. I've got another one.
Wow, that was a good one. I've got something for you. I want to just play this. Here we go. You're in the head to toe. I've worried about you, where you came from. All right. Because I've wondered, because you're not a classic human being, right? You've got kind of things about you, a bit Neanderthal, right?
A bit like Marilyn Manson, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No, but I did a bit of research because I was concerned. Where does this man come from? And it turns out you are the product of crossbreeding, my friend.
Am I?
Yeah. Okay. Early modern humans and Neanderthals lived in Europe and the parts of Asia at the same time, overlapping for several thousands of years before archaic relatives disappeared. They stayed for Christmas for around 40 years ago. Yeah, breeding between Homo sapiens and Neanderthals encountered each other, and so that's where your DNA has come from. You are, in fact, I think the scientists will get in touch with you, because you are a direct descendant of Homo sapiens and Neanderthals having a bit of the how's your father, and that's why you're like you are. That kind of brazen, don't care about other people.
Fearless is the word you're searching for there.
Muscular, flabby, all that stuff. Hey? You are a result of crossbreeding. So relax, mate, because I know that it's keeping you awake at night, wondering, where do I come from? Because
it's somebody else's fault that I'm this way, that I'm, slightly off kilter, slightly.
Absolutely true. You are off kilter, and that's all because of Neanderthals and Homo sapiens looking at each other. Going, I'll tell you what, it's probably beer glasses one night. I know we're not supposed to be mixing, but I'm for some of that action. So well done, Paul. Relax, mate. Your DNA is from the old past, my friend, and that explains everything for me. So, God, I can relax now, because I did worry about you for a bit.
We've been locked down for quite a while now, haven't we? And it's boring.
Yeah.
I think there's a secret sect out there.
Ooh. Yeah.
I think there's a secret sect out there that's determined to keep us indoors forever and never go out again. And I think it's led by online fashion retailer ASOS, who are buying up all the shops. Because when we go out, eventually, there's going to be no shops open. You know that, because Debenhams have gone, Top Man have gone, Topshop, Miss Selfridge, and all these online retailers are buying up all the shops. So we're never going to want to go out again. I think it's part of a secret sect, Ronnie. They're buying up all these things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also, on top of it, I think it's so sad that, young men will never again cross the threshold of Top Man.
Oh,
that rite of passage, when you're 13 or 14, that rite of passage to walk into the Queensgate Shopping Centre in Peterborough and just turn left into Top Man and get a dodgy pair of jeans and a ripped top. That's not going to happen for most men. I think it's going to be a huge, huge shame.
I can still remember that first Burton's credit card. When I went there and they said, "Would you like a credit card?" I said, "Yeah." What? We didn't even ask them the rates. It was something like 500% or something like that. And you bought a pair of jeans and you paid for them over about 5 or 6 years. It was fabulous, but you had a credit limit. But that thing, but then the other thing as well, Paul, the joys of going out shopping with your partner, and sitting outside in the chairs with other blokes while they went into.
It's not going to happen. It's over, mate. That joy of standing outside shops, watching your other half take hours and hours to choose the same tops you tried on 4 hours ago. That's never going to happen again. The joy of shopping is going to be gone. The last time I went to Top Man, I think I bought a pair of luminous green socks in the 80s because they were all the rage. Those luminous green ankle socks.
You're at Fat Betty's disco.
Yeah. Yeah, I did wear them at Fat Betty's. Yeah. But I also think it's there's this sort of natural aging process with shops, isn't there? Because I've not been in Top Man for many years. Although I do feel for the young men who won't ever get to go in.
Yeah.
But you move on, don't you? You move from Top Man, you move into different levels of shops before you end up at M&S with elasticated waist trousers. Where you are now, you don't buy shoes for the way they look, do you? You buy them for comfort, don't you? Yeah.
But I just said, you went from Top Man and Burton's, of course. I just said, man at C&A.
Yeah.
You realise, you're a lad. You can't go in there yet. It's not lad at C&A, it's man at C&A. And you'd get in there and polyester slacks. You remember slacks as well, and getting your first suit. Oh, you remember buying that first suit on? Oh, great! But
it's amazing how your tastes and your availability changes as you get older. And for ladies, they'll end up in Otter one day for them sensible shoes, won't they? They will end up there. But it's the same with music and everything. We all used to listen to Radio 1, then you go to Radio 2. Now it's absolute 80s, And we used to be up all night, didn't we, giving it the Roman orgy with the grapes and stuff, and now you prefer a good night's sleep. And, this is coming for young people.
We're up all night at the Roman orgies. Where was this, in Stamford or what? What was this, or is this up north?
Well, it's after you've been nightclubbing, you'd have the Roman orgy, and I always preferred the Roman orgy because it was a better cut of cloth, you know what I mean, rather than the Greek orgy. The Greek orgy wasn't as good quality.
I think the toga should be brought back. Personally, I think the toga because it's got all the attributes. You just need, it's like a mini skirt for men, and you can just whip that away, and you have your way, wick it away, and have. So Roman orgies. Okay, I'm gonna. Hey, listen. Snakes in Greenock. I want to talk about next.
Okay.
Greenock is in Scotland.
Well, yeah, it sounded like it was in Scotland. Didn't sound like it was in Dorset.
Right. Well, Police Scotland report that a large snake was found earlier today in Greenock. The snake, which is approximately 14 feet long, right? 14 feet. It's currently being examined and cared for at a local veterinary practice. Local social media posts have highlighted this incident with photographs and commentary around the find. And at this stage, been a number of other similar reports relating to snakes being spotted in the local community.
God.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you had snakes in Scotland.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize it was such a bountiful area for reptilians.
Well, there's ranger supporters, I suppose. Anyway, that'll get the going. Anyway, officers are currently dealing with this, and they would urge anyone who come across a snake not to approach it, right? So don't go near it, Paul. But
why would you? Why would you go to us? Why would you? What would go through? What would be the thought process that would go through your head? Think,
have you not seen the Jungle Book? You know, the snake there with the eyes that hypnotizes you. That's what the snakes do. They look at you and they go, ooh, you know, into your eyes, and they bring you closer. And that's when they start squeezing the life out of you. Anyway,
all right. So it's a bit like Chris Whitty.
It's a bit like that. At this stage, we're carrying out local inquiries in order to establish if anyone is missing any snakes. So they put the reason I'm doing this is just if anybody's got a snake missing, because snake can travel very far, you know, back of a lorry or something like that. So if you've got snake missing, they're in Greenock. All right. So
do snakes have thumbs? Can they thumb lifts on lorries?
I don't think they've got thumbs. Maybe
How do they get on the lorry then?
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, how did they jump up? Oh, it'll be one of those ramps. You know, the ramps that come down when they're taking
a snake ramp.
A snake ramp. Yeah, it'll be a snake ramp that comes down, and the snake is a clever. Snakes are clever, mate. They'll see that opportunity. But anyway, if you're missing snakes, that might be one of Taylor's snakes.
It could be. I once ran over a snake.
Did you?
Right. It was on honeymoon in Jamaica in 1994, and we were in a minibus. And we felt this huge bump. I went, whoa, what's that? And he went, just a snake, man, just a snake. Irie, everything is Irie.
Was he Irie?
No, that's what they used to say. But apparently lots of snakes in Jamaica, like massive, like logs on the road. They just run over them, they're fine. Absolutely fine.
Oh, right. You didn't go back to, you know, make sure?
No. I was fascinated because I wondered whether they were like worms. I don't know whether snakes are like worms. You know, as a kid, you used to pull worms apart, and then they'd reform, wouldn't they, and make 3 or 4 worms. I don't know if snakes do that. You know, if they get cut in half by a honeymooning minibus. I don't know. I don't know whether
you're giving me so many clips I can use. The honeymooning minibus. That is a work of genius. Honeymooning. Was that just all honeymoon people on your bus then?
Yes. It's just people, you know, not realizing the desperate state they were in, and the fact that happiness would end, you know, in a few years' time.
Oh, Mrs. Stainton. Even with the corsets on, I don't think you're going to get any tonight, my friend.
Hold on. Talking about happiness ending, Ronnie.
Yes.
That moves me nicely onto a story I've seen this week in the newspapers. I don't know if you've seen this. But there is trouble at Mr. Tumble Towers.
Mr. Tumble?
You know Mr. Tumble off the telly with the nose and the jumpsuit?
Yeah.
Kids' TV. Well, Mr. Tumble has been accused of being Mr. Snubby by not contacting his long-term partner in the show after she was sacked a few years ago for posing for topless photos, which, of course, is not great for a kids' TV presenter, is it? You know, getting your babs out. But, you know, he's apparently Mr. Tumble has never got in touch with her. And Mr. Tumble's real name, by the way, I don't know if you know, is Justin Fletcher, age 50. And Mr. Tumble's mum has got involved because Sarah Jane Honeywell, who was his partner, was the one, you know, creating Merry Hell. Mr. Tumble's mum has got involved, and she says that Sarah's talking a lot of rubbish, that Mr. Tumble's not like that at all. So
I never saw that. That sounds like a lead that should be on TV or something. Why is that not made? Why are they, you know, they're too busy with the coronavirus and that.
These are big stories. Mr. Tumble, you know, falling out of Tumble Towers. But I don't know if you know this, he's not the only celebrity to have...
This is it.
He's not the...
Right, go.
Mr. Tumble's not the only celebrity to have some major fallouts. I don't know if you know this, Ronnie, but Rod Hull and Emu had a big fallout before Rod fell off the roof. They had a big fallout after Rod accidentally one day put his hand in the wrong cavity. So that was a huge falling out.
Yeah.
And Sooty and Sweep, you know, they famously came to blows over Sue, and Sooty and Sweep still not talking. Well, they don't anyway, do they? Just go. But the big one, Ronnie, the one that's still a huge secret, actually. In fact, I think this is an exclusive for the podcast.
I do like it when you do that. Yes.
World exclusive. So cast your mind back, Ronnie, if you will, to the 1980s. You know, big hair, shoulder pads, Back to the Future on at the cinema, Auf Wiedersehen Pet on the telly, and bottle of hooch in your hand. You remember? Remember the music, Ronnie? You know, the big bands of the time: Duran Duran, Culture Club, Spandau Ballet.
Yes.
Well, The Cure. You remember The Cure?
Yes.
Robert Smith and his funny hair.
Yes.
They've had a massive falling out, The Cure, that nobody knows about it.
Right.
Massive falling out. And I don't know if you know, but The Cure have been living in Magaluf for the last few years, you know, running a successful pedalo business.
Brilliant. This is going to be world record. This is just go. I don't
know if you know that, but yeah, Robert Smith's been hiring out pedalos in Magaluf. And but during that time, he's also been collecting more and more Siamese cats, has Robert. And The Cure all live in one big house.
Oh, right, yeah, go on.
So now there's all The Cure and Robert Smith and 30 Siamese cats in that house making a right racket. And that's just Robert. Now, the rest of the band, they've issued an ultimatum to Robert, and they said, look, it's us or the cats. So this could be, Ronnie, the end of The Cure's Magaluf pedalo business. It could be. It could be the end of The Cure. Ask me why.
Why would that be, Paul?
Well, Robert loves cats. It's the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they stalk, the way they kiss.
Well, thank you, everybody, for staying around till the very end.
Yeah, exclusive.
That's fantastic. And I think on that note, Paul, I don't think we'll climb to any great heights from here. I think we've what's up? You going?
Oh, nothing.
I think we've kind of.
I think we've peaked.
I think. Certainly. Yeah, well, there is definitely a peak and a trough involved here, and I think for us to do anything else now, Paul, would just be futile. So
okay.
Thank you very much for listening to the podcast, everybody. If you'd like to donate any monies you've got to, because we're doing this for nothing. We couldn't charge for it.
No, you'd struggle to get money for it, to be fair.
But if you'd like to give to some of the good charities around, hospice care, NHS, any of the Captain Moore charities as well, then do that. And we'll keep on doing this. You realise we've been doing this now for we're nearly a year. Where we remember for the first lockdown.
I do remember, yeah.
You and I said we should do something, and then we did. Yeah. It was called The Antidote. Then,
yeah. And we said, didn't we? We've got a responsibility to entertain. If you can make people laugh, you should try your best. And we've tried our best.
We have certainly tried our best to entertain. And we're going to keep on it, because one of these days, listeners, we promise you will find this entertaining. You will think,
oh, hold on. Look at the time.
What?
I'm supposed to be running Amazon. I've got to nip off, mate. That's my new job. I'm running Amazon now. Jeff has stepped down, so I've got to fill in, if you don't mind. I've got to go.
Have you signed his farewell card, mate?
Yeah, I signed it, and I put a couple of quid in the kitty because I know he's short-handed.
Well, I've already bought his present, and it's arriving tomorrow between 8 and 6. Right, say goodbye, Paul.
Goodbye.
I love you. Bye.
Get a shave, by the way. Get a shave for next week's discussion.
I look like him out at the Queen drummer with these glasses on, don't I? Roger Taylor. Is it Roger Taylor?
You look like a man with a retriever.